10 News begins with the 10 News breaking weather alert.
We're in a 10 News breaking weather alert. 10 News Pinpoint Doppler Live showing storms already hitting the county. We're tracking how much rain will fall where you live and who could see hail. But we begin with a developing story we've been tracking since this morning. Police shoot and kill a teenager at Torrey Pines High School. We have team coverage tonight, beginning with Laura Acevedo live at the school.
Yeah, Riel, the memorial here at the high school continues to grow, even though nobody knows who this teen is yet. But people I spoke to say they are stopping by to show their support for the family.
It could have honestly been anyone, because people were out late last night. There's a lot of parties last night.
It was news that no student at Torrey Pines High School thought they would ever have to hear.
Everyone, I feel in this community, at the school, everyone just feels like a collective sadness and kind of a confusion.
One of their own, a 15-year-old classmate, shot and killed by San Diego police overnight. Police say it started just after 3 this morning. Someone called for a welfare check of a male teen in the parking lot of the school. Officers say the teen pointed a gun at them and started walking towards them. They say he ignored several commands to put the gun down. The officers on scene shot the teen several times. Investigators think he called police on himself.
He actually called and spoke about himself in third person. It's very general. Check the welfare call.
Police later confirmed the gun was actually a BB gun. Students who stopped by thought the situation could have been handled differently.
They could have either disarmed him in different manners. I mean, they probably had like tasers, tranquilizers, something other than a gun and like shooting them.
San Diego district officials notified parents of the shooting via email and expressed their condolences to the family. Students still wondering who the boy is, looking at each other for comfort.
It's like kind of a tight community, so everyone kind of knows everyone. So we're just trying to figure out at this point like who it is.
And police haven't given us the name of the teen because he is a minor. Now the school will be open on Monday and there will be grief counselors available for any student who needs it. Reporting live in Torrey Pines, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
Laura, thank you. The tragedy is sure to take a toll on students, parents, and the officers involved. Our team coverage continues with 10 News reporter Hannah Mullins, who talked to a trauma expert about coping with what happened.
It's scary for everyone. It's just horrible.
The heartache at high school is sinking in.
I cried my eyes out. Just cried my eyes out.
Like many, this Torrey Pines High School mom thinks it's the outcome he wanted.
For most of us, this is going to be another news story. For those people at the epicenter, this is going to become their lives.
Dr. Kendruck is a well-respected traumatic loss expert. He says to have some compassion for the police who were faced with that deadly decision and who fought to keep him alive with CPR.
They are made of flesh as well, and you can be sure that they will be dealing with this for the rest of their lives.
Druck quite literally wrote the book on how to talk to your kids about school violence, and he knows the agony the boys' parents will feel when they bury their child.
It feels like there's no air in the room to breathe.
He lost his daughter, who went to Torrey Pines in a tragic accident.
It was as though my heart had been ripped out and all the wind had been taken from my sails.
He hopes the community can come together to create a safe, judgment-free zone for kids to talk.
Ask them that open-ended question that makes it safe for them to say what they think about this.
I'm just so worried about his family, his mother, his father.
With big bold letters on a makeshift sign, this mom said she's here to help.
Something caused this child to feel so much pain.
And Druck said if we just listen, maybe we'll hear a cry for help instead of gunshots. Hannah Mullins, 10 News.
10 News will stay on top of this developing story and bring you the latest details on our newscast and on our mobile app. Well, now back to our 10 News breaking weather alert. 10 News Pinpoint weather anchor Jennifer De La Cruz is tracking some serious rain on the way.
Serious rain on the way. We saw some rain today, but nothing compared to what we're going to see over the next couple of hours as we head further into the evening. Our Pinpoint Doppler Live showing all of those showers moving east across the county. A good amount of moisture coming in, but we're only going to see that increasing as these storms increase in intensity. A good amount of moisture moving into Oceanside and Carlsbad right now, also in the Poway area on the 15 near the 56. Those rain chances bumping up significantly as we move into the morning hours. 4 a.m., 90% chance of rain. It's going to stay pretty consistent through the rest of tomorrow and into tomorrow evening. This is going to be an all-day rain event, so it certainly will be a wet one for your Sunday. Wind gusts also going to be an issue as we continue to move into the end of our weekend. The impacts of the storms, we're going to see showers and thunderstorms taking us through the beginning of the week. Lightning at the beaches, mountain sleet and snow. I'll tell you who's going to get hit the hardest coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, Jennifer, we'll wait for that. Meantime, new at 11 o'clock, a warning from some Southern California surfers and swimmers. Long Beach marine safety officials have issued a shark advisory for beaches in the area. They spotted 10 to 20 juvenile great white sharks off the coast. They posted signs to make sure that people are aware of the sharks, but say they're keeping beaches open for now. This comes just a week after a shark attacked Leanne Erickson at San Onofre State Beach. She's undergone multiple surgeries and is still in the hospital. A new video of a man accused of using his son as a human shield. This was in Van Nuys last night. Police say the boy's mother called for help over a domestic dispute. The man eventually handed the boy to officers, but then used a trash can to keep them at bay. Later, it seems that he was going to surrender peacefully, and he throws a punch. Officers take him down and arrest him. The boy gives officers high fives. The mother telling reporters off camera that she is grateful that he's okay. New tonight, firefighters have stopped a small brush fire burning in Oceanside. Crews say that it burned about a quarter acre on the side of the westbound 78 near El Camino Real at around 6 o'clock. It got close to the men's warehouse but didn't damage the building. There's no word on how that fire started. Now to a developing story, the healthcare backlash on display this weekend. Republican lawmakers back in their districts getting an earful from constituents about the newly passed bill. It still has a long way to go, with the Senate signaling it may start from scratch to repeal and replace Obamacare. ABC's David Wright is tracking what's next.
For Republican members of Congress back in their districts today, a reality check.
The bill protects the pre-existing condition.
At town hall meetings, constituents are venting their anger over the health bill the House just passed.
Republican senators do not like this bill.
Congress members are on the defensive, trying to explain why they voted for this bill.
This is a step in the right direction because the present status quo is not sustainable.
After a constituent confronted Idaho's Raul Labrador, telling him people will die without access to health care, he shot back.
Nobody dies because they don't have access to health care.
A vocal backlash, including these protesters here in New Jersey. President Trump is spending the weekend at his Bedminster, New Jersey country club. Today, the president used his weekly address to praise the bill.
It will be great health care, and your premiums will come down, and your deductibles will come down.
But the president is also having to defend what he told the Australian Prime Minister about the single-payer system down under, Medicare for all.
You have better health care than we do.
Senator Bernie Sanders on MSNBC.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll quote you on the floor of the Senate.
The Senate takes up the plan next.
Now we'll go to work on a Senate bill.
Democrats already see the health care debate as an opening for them in next year's midterm elections.
The Democrats were already positioned well in this midterm election to pick up a lot of seats, especially in the House, and I think this bill is going to help them.
The debate over health care far from over. David Wright, ABC News, Bedminster, New Jersey.
No. Parents outraged by a video showing their 6-year-old autistic daughter being hit not once but twice by a school bus aide. The child is nonverbal, and her parents say they found out about the incident from the superintendent of the girl's Illinois school district who called them to show them the video.
Just makes me want to cry, to be honest with you, as a mom, just seeing that. It's disgusting.
The district superintendent emphasized that the bus aide is not a district employee and instead works for the district's bus contractor. Police say the incident is under investigation. Charges have not been filed. Meantime, more than 50 farm workers in California have been exposed to a pesticide. They got sick while harvesting cabbage at a farm near Bakersfield Friday. Their symptoms included vomiting and nausea. One person fainted. First responders did a mass decontamination on site, and one worker was hospitalized. A farm official says a highly toxic pesticide called Vulcan was used on a nearby field Thursday night, but it's still unclear if that's the culprit.
I'm not pointing fingers saying that was done incorrectly. It's just it's an unfortunate thing, the way it was drifted. The wind came, pushed everything east, and, you know, we were caught in the path.
Some workers left before first responders arrived. They're urged to get medical attention if they have any symptoms. Well, new developments. Government officials in Nigeria say 82 Chibok schoolgirls kidnapped by Boko Haram more than 3 years ago are now free. Negotiations with the Islamic extremist group resulted in the girls' release. They're believed to be from the group of 276 schoolgirls kidnapped in 2014. They're heading to the capital of Abuja for medical checks and to be reunited with their families. Right now, it's just after 8 a.m. on Sunday in France, and people are heading to the polls. Frontrunner Emmanuel Macron says his camp suffered a massive hack. Campaign officials said the perpetrators accessed thousands of files and mixed fake documents with the real ones to create confusion and misinformation. The leaks happened right before the mandatory media blackout before the election. During her final days campaigning, protesters threw eggs at controversial candidate Marine Le Pen. New video.
Watch out!
A helicopter crashing into a Southern California golf course. Everyone inside miraculously survives. How close it came to slamming into workers. And a terrifying moment for a San Diego driver and his mom. Wood flying off a truck on the freeway and smashing into the windshield, missing the woman by just inches. The tiny piece of metal that made all the difference. A wild animal on the loose in U.S. streets, but this zebra didn't escape the zoo, where it came from, and the damage it caused while on the run.
Plus, the Dodgers rookie who's made life miserable for the Padre pitching the last 2 nights. That's later on Valley View Casino and Hotel Sports Extra.